Hello, folks. Welcome to another live session. Hello, viewers. Hardly welcome to another live session. It's going to be very informative as we are covering in this video about journal entries. Journal entries is very important as it stands basics in accountancy. If you are not good at journal entries, it's difficult to go further. So viewers, if you have any queries, do text in chat box so that I can understand the doubts and clarify them. So viewers, if you have any queries, hi Dinesh. Text in chat box so that I can understand the doubts. So okay, before that I have already completed two chapters in accountancy, that is what is bookkeeping and accountancy in one video, and another video I have covered accounting principles, and in third video I have covered what is double entry book system. So it is the fourth chapter in accountancy. I'll provide the links of first three lessons in my description box so that you'll get a good clarity. Hello Jagdish. So let us continue today's accountancy class. Thank you, Jagdish, for your support. If you have any queries, text in chat box. Let us continue today's lessons. First, if we are thorough with this sum, which I am going to solve now, that is, which consists every simple journal entry, which everyone can do. It's very simple. So let us read out the question first. So question says that from the following transactions of Mr. Nag, identify the nature of account, debit items, credit items, and also give journal entries. So at this stage, you forget this, identify the nature of accounts, debit items or credit items. In my next live session, I'm going to make a creative one. We'll have MCQs so that it is both useful for you and for us, so that it going to be interactive session where I'll ask questions with options. You should text the answer so that it will be easy to understand what comes under debit and credit. So for the time being, we'll learn what is how journal entries is made when the question is given like this. So let us start. For this, I'm using MS Office so that I can do answer subsequently. You can use your notebooks so that you can understand clearly. Accounts is useful for both MEC students and CC students. Remember that. If you get this journal entry, it will be easy for you to solve any other problems. So let us solve. Question here is, give journal entries for the following. They have given date and particulars. Date is, always remember, for any sum in accountancy we should write heading first. So the heading is journal entries for Mr. What is the name? Let's see that. In the books of Mr. Nag. Here is the books of Mr. Nag. So Mr. Nag as on, what is the date given? 2014 January. So write the date as it is, 2014. This is becomes the heading for you. Nextly, draw table. I already made separate video on journal entries where I thought the format and the basic 9 journal entries. In that 9 journal entries, you can find the 9 journal entries in every question paper of journal entries. So if you have not watched that video, I'll provide the link in description. Watch that so that you will get a clarity. So let us draw table, date, particulars, ledger column, two amounts column. So this becomes our first date, particulars, LF number, LF number, debit amount and credit amount. This is the format. Remember students, always format is very important in accountancy. Remember, the always journal entry have 5 columns. First, date, particulars, LF number. LF number should be very short. LF number is nothing but ledger font. Ledger font is nothing but, see, this transaction will appear in this number of ledger. That's why we'll write as LF number, debit amount and credit amount. So this is a format. Hope you understand the format. Let's go into the sum now. What is first question or first transaction is there? Mr. Nag started business with cash. This is the first transaction with the amount 45,000. This is given. Always remember students, always will start business with cash. So the answer will be, always the first transaction's capital, the answer will be first write date. What is date? 1st January 2019 to 14. 1st Jan 2014 is the first transaction date. So, in particulars, we should write what comes under debit and what comes under credit. So, through the transactions, we can understand that we have two aspects in one transaction, that is debit and credit. What falls under debit we should know, and what falls under credit we should analyze. Let us read and understand what it is. See, Mr. Nag started business with cash. So, what's coming in and what's going out? Mr. Nag started business with cash. What is going in debit? What comes in credit? What goes out? Cash is going out and capital is coming in. So the first transaction will be cash account debit to capital account credit. This is our first transaction. This is our first transaction. Amount will be same. What is the amount? 45,000. So 45,000 in both the sides. And 45,000. Second transaction. Let us move to second transaction. Purchases furniture worth some amount. When the transaction has took place on 2nd January. So 2nd Jan, same date. Always remember purchases comes debit. That is the main logic here. Always purchases comes under one head, debit side. So what we have purchased? Furniture. So furniture account debit to what is going out? If we purchase, what will go out? Cash. So cash account. Always remember students, purchases always comes under debit. If only they give purchased goods means we should write purchases. If they specifically giving we have purchased furnitures, we have purchased machineries, then you should write name and the amount will be same in both the columns. What is the amount? 10,000. So write on both the sides. Why are writing on both the sides same amount? Always remember accounting says there is always equal debit and credit. So we are following that equation. And third transaction what they have given is on third they have again purchased goods. So here they did not mention specifically we purchased machinery or furniture. They directly gave only purchased goods. So the transaction as we know 3rd Jan only we should write purchases. Account debit to what is going out? Cash. So cash account. This is the transaction. So hope you clear what when purchases is given we should write this transaction like this. What is the amount? 5,000 in both the columns. 5,000 and 5,000. Next transaction we have sold goods for cash. What sold means sales. Understand? Sales. Always remember one rule. Sales always comes under credit side. Purchases debit, sales credit. What is coming in? Cash is coming in. So the transaction will be 4th Jan. What is coming in? When we sell our goods, what will be coming in? Cash will come. So cash account debit to what is going out? Sales are going out. So sales account. This is a transaction for sales. What is the amount given? 10,000. So write 10,000 on both the sides. Hope you are clear till here. If you have any queries, comment below. Next transaction says on January 5th, purchased goods rupees 3,000 from Mr. Bharatwaj on credit. Here you should remember this one. Students, credit, credit. Credit is very important. When they say cash, we need not worry. We can directly take cash. When they say credit, credit means nothing but if we'll not give cash directly, we'll give after some time, then it is said to be credit transaction. So in purchases we have credit. In sales also we will have credit. As I said, credit is nothing but we are not paying directly. When we have purchased goods, we will not pay directly. We will pay after some times. Then it is said to be credit transaction. So the transaction remains same. See, always purchases comes under debit. So what is the date given? 5th. 5th 3,000. Okay. Mr. Bharatwaj. 5th Jan was transaction happened. So what is the entry for purchases? Purchases always comes under debit. So we'll follow the same rule. Next, Instead of cash, we have credit transaction. So instead of cash, we'll get the name of the person. What is his name? Mr. Bharatwaj. So write the name. So it is credit transaction. Instead of cash, we are writing his name. Credit transaction. What is the amount? 3000 in both the sides. Hope you have cleared this. Next, same credit transaction in sales. What we have in sales on 8th, sold goods for credit to Mr. Shaker. How much is the transaction worth? 4000. So same, we should write same 8th Jan. What is the entry for sales? Cash to sales. Always sales comes under credit side. So first we should write, instead of cash we should write the name of the person. It is Shaker. Shaker account debit to cash account. What is coming going out? Cash is going out. Sorry, it's not cash, it's sales. Sales account. Because instead of cash we are writing, it is credit transaction, we are writing this. What is the amount? 4000. So write 4000 on both the side. Hope the doubt is clear. If you have any doubts, comment in chat live chat, so that I can understand your queries. And nextly, cash deposited into bank. It is very important. Very important. Always remember, cash deposited into bank always comes. See, cash is deposited, cash is going out. What is coming in bank? We are depositing in bank. So the transaction will be on 10th Jan. What is going out to bank? We are depositing in bank. So bank account debit to what is coming in cash account. So this is a transaction for when cash is deposited into bank. You always, when cash is deposited into bank, you always have this transaction. Remember, what is the amount? 2000 in both the sides. So write as it is. What is the next transaction? received cash from Shaker. What we are getting, what is coming in, cash is coming in. So cash account to Mr. Shaker account. So we will write that on 13th January the transaction has took place. So what is coming in, cash is coming in. So cash account debit to who is giving us, Mr. Shaker. So Mr. Shaker is giving. So we should credit him. This is a transaction. How much is the amount? 2000 on both the sides. Next, what is the transaction? Cash withdrawn for personal use. What is coming in withdrawals? See students, remember it is very important transactions. So red we will use when cash is withdrawn. See, cash is withdrawn means what is going out, cash is going out. What is coming in, withdrawals for personal use. We should learn from business perspective, not from ourselves. So for the business, cash is going out, withdrawals is coming in. So the transaction will be on 17th Jan 2014 transaction has took place. So drawings account debit to cash account. This is the transaction. How much is the amount? 3000 on both the sides. Next, few other transactions are there. Let us finish that. Paid rent. What we are paying? Cash we are paying. In what form we are? Why you are paying cash for rent? So on 20th Jan, what is the transaction we are paying? Rent. Rent account debit. What is going out? Cash is going out to cash account. So this is the transaction. What is the amount? 500 on both the sides. Next we have salaries outstanding. See, outstanding for the time being, I'll tell you later. Outstanding is very simple. It is not paid yet. In simple words, it is to be paid. So salaries is not paid. Always remember expenses will always come under debit side. So salaries are expenses for business. So 21st January transaction has took place. Salaries are expenses, so debit the salaries to we should write cash, but in question they have given as outstanding salaries. So outstanding salaries account, we should post the transaction. So this is a transaction for salaries outstanding. The amount is 300 on both the columns. Next transaction is interest paid on borrowings. So always remember, any interest paid is to be debited. So Jan 24th Jan 2014, interest account to be debited, and what is coming in? What is going out when interest is paid? Cash is going out, so cash account. This is a transaction for interest paid. What is the amount? 400 on both the sides. Hope you are following. If you have any queries, do text in live chat so that I can clarify your doubts. So on Jan 25th, what is the transaction given? Let us see. Transaction is paid cash to Bharatwaj. What we are paying to Mr. Bharatwaj. So Mr. Bharatwaj was to debit to what you are paying cash. So Bharatwaj account debit debit to cash account. This will be the transaction. What is the amount? 1000 on both the sides. 1000 on both the sides. Nextly, on 27th Jan 2014, the transaction is, let us see. We have two transactions on 27. It may be possible. As the business may be large, we have on one day many transactions. So, goods withdrawn for personal use. As you can see, the same transaction here. Here we have withdrawn cash, here we withdrawn goods. So, same transaction with little change. Instead of cash, you will get goods or purchases. So let us do this. Bank account debit it's not bank, drawing, sorry. Drawings account debit. As you can see here, same transaction, but instead of Same transaction. Instead of cash, we'll get goods account. That's it. No changes here. What is the amount? 500 on both the sides. Nextly, same on 27th once again, so 27 January. We have transaction, let us see. Received check from Mr. Raju. Here instead of cash we received check. So instead of from where we'll get check from bank. So bank account debit to from whom we are receiving Mr. Raju account. So this is the transaction. What is the amount given? 2000 on both the columns. Hope you are understanding. If you have any queries, text in live chat so that I can clarify your doubts. Next, transaction has happened on 28th January 2014. What is a transaction? Let us know. Issued check to Mr. Lal. What we are issuing? See, issuing, who is receiving? Debit the receiver. Mr. Lal is receiving the check. So Lal account debit. Who is giving? Bank is giving the check. So bank account is as simple as this. What is the amount? 2000 on both the sides. 2000. More two to three transactions. That's it. Will end up the question. Interest allowed by bank. See, same here also. Interest paid by borrowings, but here we are allowing. That's the difference. So it becomes opposite. Let us do that on 29th of Jan. See, when we what we are allowing interest. So interest account. That simple. Amount is 300 on both the sides. So the next transaction will be, let us see the next transaction. In interest allowed by bank, we have did with that. On 31st, withdraw from bank for office use. So the transaction is 31st Jan Cash account, the transaction will be cash account debit to bank account. This is a transaction. How we got? See, when we withdraw from bank, what is coming in? Cash is coming in. What is going out to the bank? So the transaction will be cash account debit to bank account. Amount is 200 on both the sides. Now the last transaction is on 31st January received a commission. It is income. Always income comes under credit side. So note that cash account debit to commission received account. So this is the transaction. Amount is 100 on both the sides. So we have completed with this sum. We have this many transactions. If you have thorough with this sum, it is will be easy for you to do journal entries in further. Always remember students, after completing each journal entry, each journal transaction will have debit to credit. Then we should write a narration in one line. In brackets we should write always. In bracket being, here I will say you one tip. If you have no idea about how to write narration, you can repeat whatever they have given in question. Being Mr. Nag started business with cash. But we should add to the question being and write so and so being and repeat the question and close the bracket. That's it. It's as simple. For every transaction you should write. Remember that. If you will not write, it is not being fulfilled. The journal entry rules. So always write being, repeat the question. So same like that we should write for every transactions. Understand? This is the basic and very important fundamentals of journal entries. If you are thorough with this one sum, then you can do wonders in journal entries. So this is all about today's session about journal entries. If you have any queries regarding journal entries or accounts, commerce, economics, or any other subjects in intermediate, you can comment below. I'll reach out to you and clarify your doubts. Hope this session is useful for you. We'll meet daily on live classes from 5 to 6. Hope this timing is convenient for you. If you have any issues with timing or convenience for you, you can comment below. So friends, in this session we have dealt with one sum which covers all basics of journal entries. If you are thorough with this, you can do any sum of journal entry and get good marks. Hope this is clear. So For today, I'm signing off. Meet daily at 5 o'clock. Register in your mind. Always 5 o'clock is a live class. Daily, I'm going to teach all subjects like economics, commerce, accounts. If you have want any other languages class also, you can comment below. I'll make videos. Let us meet tomorrow's live session. Thank you for today. See you. Have a nice day.